Mic check, 1 2 1 2. 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 What's going on? Peace, 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 brother. Peace, peace. We got brother Holy Water with a side of green tea up in the building. This brother Leo, brother Conscious. We here, you know what I'm saying, in abundance. Hmm?
You said holy water with a side of green
With a
tea.
side of green tea, you know what I'm saying? Can't mix it too. The power of refinement, you know what I'm saying? Uh uh it's a lot of discussion we want to talk about. I want to talk about personally. You see, you're gonna make this a try to make this a quick little session, quick little small quick zoom. Uh um
Mhm.
I was
You were
I
supposed to
was
hit me
telling
up
you,
you were supposed to hit me up at 11. What happened, bro?
I'm supposed to hit you up from 10. From 10:30, 11, yeah, something like
Everything
that.
straight. Everything straight.
Yeah. I actually, two, I just had a little conversation. You know what I'm saying? My roommate, really powerful, um, powerful individual. We was talking about, because I know I was telling you I was taking it back home to the islands, you know what I'm saying? In terms of my creativity, everything where I feel like where I get the most support and everything at. And I guess like he definitely was talking to me like, oh, why are you trying to go back to the islands when, like, you know what I'm saying, here America's where dreams are made or made of. And I was telling him like my support system is more greater home. When he would say, yo, you could build your own support system with your own two hands and feet, you know. So he definitely struck a chord with me, you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
um it was good. Like, it was definitely good. He was telling me to, sometimes you gotta decide. I got this from Cupid, but I'm switching the analogy just a little bit to see what he said. But it's what Cupid said, but it's basically what he was saying. Cupid always tell me you gotta risk it to get the biscuit. You know, you never know until you try. You never know until you try. You know, even if you fall or you fail, you never know until you try.
I need one of these days, bro. If you got Cupid's information, we need to all have a conversation, bro.
Cupid is like a ghost. Cupid's like a ghost, for real, for real. He's like a ghost. Like, I hear from him, I'll hear from him. I always go on. I go off on him because, again, he's not saying he's wishy washy, but Cupid is a person. He would hit you up now, and then you won't hear from him for months. So that'd be me and his situation, you know. So if I gotta talk to him because I haven't spoke to him since I haven't spoke to him, like, you know what I'm saying. I spoke to him, but it's like it's on and off with him. So to get him is like me literally trying to catch out Carmen San Diego. You understand? So that's how Cupid is, you know. Like, he's there, but he ain't there. You know, like he said again, a friend in need is a friend indeed, and he definitely being a value friend. You know what I'm saying, in my times of need as well. So he's proven his loyalty and so forth. But again, he's just a person. He's like the gingerbread man. Catch me if you can. However, if I switch the focus and the conversation, we getting starting off on the tippity top. This is
Dis-
brother Leo. This is
Discipline
brother.
for them children, right?
Say it again.
Discipline for them children.
That as well. That as well. We gonna get back. That's gonna be the subtopic. That's gonna be the subtopic. You know.
We ain't hitting them too hard, though.
Yeah. Just lock these drawers and stuff. No. Also want to talk about you too. You was talking about the last time you got to speak on financial literacy, and this is ain't no. You're talking about currency. You was talking about
Yeah,
your own currency.
man, I ain't gonna lie.
I'm not prepared for that. I'm not prepared for that right
I'm
now.
gonna
You
tell you
dig?
this. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you this. Just a little glimpse of the conversation we can have when we have this conversation. Um, Black people having their own currency. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was drinking and I was having a conversation with somebody over this live app called Bigo, and I was talking to them, and all of a sudden I started thinking, what if Black people had their own currency? And we had Harriet Tubman on the $100 bill. You know,
Yeah.
or we had our own currency, and we're the only ones that could use it. You know, like,
Hmm.
and You know, we're the only ones who could trade off with it. You know what I'm saying? It'll totally change our society
Mhm.
completely, completely. That's how I feel. But that's a whole nother conversation. We can hold that conversation one of these days. But
That's definitely good because again, Muammar Gaddafi, he tried to create I guess you could call it a Republican Africa, where he tried to implement not saying black supremacy, but it's Africa. So what you expect? It's Africa, literally Africa, the motherland, and he was working in towards having a united Africa, united forefront, where African people, we control everything. Because like, a lot of, not to say, not downplaying Africa not one bit, but I hear a lot of folks sit here and they want to speak on repatriation. And the fact of the matter is, the people in Africa don't even control Africa. You understand? The people, the natives from the land. And again, everybody always says, yo, go back to Africa, go back to your country, go back to Africa. Oh, blah, 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 blah. But the fact of the matter is, Africans in Africa don't even have power. You understand? It's so again, you had the Dutch, you had the Dutch, the British, the Spaniards, um, the Dutch, the British, the Spaniards, England, all had shares, all collecting money from Africa, the natural
Chinese,
resources.
China as well.
Mm-hmm. I'm talking about the slave, the white
Oh, you talking
supremacy.
slave masters? Okay.
Yeah, they all have, and they never let go. You understand? They never let go. That's why you have all these African countries that speak French and speak Dutch and speak, I'm saying, English, none of their native tongue, none of their languages, So when people speak on let's go back to Africa, I'm like, before we go back to Africa, it was Khalid Muhammad. He was, I forget where we spoke. It's in the 90s sometime. And he was like, he was telling people like, yo, let's go back home, but we gotta run out our oppressors, you know what I'm saying? Because you still have foreign powers in Africa that's oppressing. We saw Blood Diamond. You know what I'm saying? That's very, very valid. Not every part in Africa, but it's very, very valid. That you have white imperialism, white colonists, you know what I'm saying? But colonialism, came into play, and they're still there. They're still there, and they're still alive to this very day. The people who came there and enslaved Africa, they still, or their grandchildren, or their great grandchildren, reap the benefits of Africa to this very day. So before we sit here and be like, oh, let's get like we gotta maintain and sustain what we want. Let's just say we want black supremacy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, supremacy, we're inferior, we're scared or afraid of somebody else. When I speak of black nationalism just means us as a people that we're creating businesses. This is where I'm going to take it, our conversation. We're creating black businesses. We're creating black communities. We're creating, because people say, oh, you sound racist. Every community have a community, but the black community. The black community is basically the hood and the ghetto. Truthfully and realistically speaking, impoverished areas and neighborhoods. That's what you consider as black, as our black community, and that's a sad stigma. We're gonna go back. I'm gonna
It is. It is. It is
continue.
because
Mhm.
if I can interject, when you go to Atlanta, I went into this neighborhood one time. Big, beautiful homes. 98% black. So the stigma is the hood and the ghettos. But usually when you see a lot of the hoods and the ghettos, it's people who are in broken up families.
Mhm.
Broken up families that you see in the hoods and the ghettos. Because a lot of times those good homes that we see, a lot of times the father is there. But those same people, and this is what I kind of don't like, the fact that a lot of these good fathers out here are not helping. I, I met this one man. I met this one man, and I said, "How do you feel about black people? This black people that he lived in a good home. He had a big house and he was in business and black man. He told me basically this is what he told me. He said, I basically he was like, I don't think about it because I got children I got to raise. I got a son that plays football and stuff like that. Another son just, and I'm like, wow. So what's happening is the ones that who don't have the mindset of the hood and the ghetto and stuff like that and drug dealing and all that stuff, what they do is they separate themselves and they focus on them and their family, and
Mhm.
they don't look at themselves as a part of the black community
Mhm.
in that way. Me,
Mhm.
I do.
Mhm.
come back and educate our young brothers, our young women, and
Mm-hmm.
all of our people in general, you know. And this is the problem. The ones who get out of those situations, or who go to a certain higher echelon,
Hmm.
they they decide to basically keep to themselves, and and amongst yeah. But go ahead, my bad.
Nah, that's. I feel like that's completely right. I'm about to take this to a little side a little bit, but I'm gonna bring it back to the same topic you just was talking about. You know, finishing off what I was saying earlier, the hood wasn't meant for us. The hood was an experimentation that white people didn't want to be with us when we got released out of slavery. Unfortunately, you had a lot of us that became complacent, and that's all we knew. You understand? That's all we knew. White people said they, excuse me, white people such and said they didn't want us to be around them. And we had no other choice but to live in these segregated places, you know what I'm saying? That was befitting of animals, you know? And also, I want black people to understand this. The hood ain't for us. Wasn't for us unless we could change the mindset of the hood. Then change the mindset of the hood ain't for us. The hood was again where they call you savages, packs of animals, and they place you there so you can react and act like animals. Was never meant for us to sit and say unless we can rid the entire ghettos. We can rid the entire projects. You understand? We can rid the entire mindset of those places and liberate our minds, liberate our bodies, liberate our thinking. Another thing is you spoke on these people who rose above the ghettos, rose above the hood. I want you to sit here and you understand this, that they give us, a matter of fact, I know it's Black History Month, but Black History for me is 365 days of the year, period. We go to we get out these hoods and moving out the hood. And again, the hood is not for us. So when I see black people moving out of the hood or situation trying to elevate themselves or their people, I commend them for that. Because again, the ghetto ain't for us. It's just something that we was there and a lot of people got stuck at. All right. We moved to these neighborhoods and predominantly these white neighborhoods where the people around there don't want us to be around there. Period. You understand? We have these Karens and these Joels, whatever else the name is, you know what I'm saying? They sit and they call the cops for us because they feel threatened because we're somewhere at where we're not supposed to be at. We're somewhere we're not supposed to be at. Another thing is then we take our children out of the public schools and we place our children in these private schools. And you know what happened in these private schools? The same thing that you hate and you fear of your child being taught white supremacy. That's what they taught in the hood. So when they grow up and when they become adults, their mind and thinking like, oh, these people in the hood, they don't want no better. Oh, these people, these second class citizens, they don't want no better. Because again, the school system got a hold of them and they warped their thinking. So now they feel like they're not thinking wrong. Because again, these people in the hood, these people in the ghetto, they don't want to do no better. And the fact of the matter is, people don't know no better. When they said, Maya Angelou said, when you know better, you do better. People don't know better. They're stuck in a condition and they just became a product of their product of their environments, you know? And also going back to you, also with the educational system. We go to school for 12 years, and some people go to school again for another 12 years to become a doctor, a medical doctor, or go to school for 7, 8 years to become a doctor of a PhD or become a lawyer or so forth. Or you know what I'm saying? And then within that time, they're teaching you how to become employees, not employers. You understand? All this education you know and everything, he teaching you how to become your own boss. That's what we lack in the black community. We lack wealth, we lack capital, we lack wealth, we lack capital assets, we lack period. We have everybody in our community, in our black community, that profit of us. We have the Jewish people that profit in us. And in New York City, most of them, those apartment buildings in New York City are controlled and owned by Jewish people. We have Asian people in our community that profit from us. None of the money is spent in the black community. We have the Arabs, the Arab people in our community that take the money out of the community. No, none of the money is contributed towards the black community or the upliftment of the black community. So we allow people to come in our community in the ghettos that they sit in a bad mouthers. I see a lot of videos on social media where these Arab people sit they feel like some Asian people and not Asian people as well, because again they became a part of us, because again they have a bunch of black patrons patronizing their businesses, and they feel the need that to appropriate themselves in our culture. They started to use the N word. I tell people, period. They're like, oh, Leo, I heard you use it. I don't use that word. That ain't for me. That ain't for me. That's what the masters call me. Not to sit in the do any offense to people that do use it. You know what I'm saying? Because Biggie Small said it, take a negative and put it to the positive, or Eazy-E said, take a negative, I turn a negative into a positive. You know what I'm saying? I get the whole philosophy and concept. You know, that was never a term of endearment for me. So therefore, I'm not engaging in it.
Never.
You know, so yeah, with us again, we have to focus on the community as a collective whole, as our nation. You know, these foreign powers are sucking our community dry, and not even helping us, not even the least bit. Might give you employment, might not. We see more bad happening than good happening in our community. You know, I know I talked a lot, so my apologies.
No doubt, bro. No
I don't
doubt.
want to be my good God brother King, or my good God brother God Bathar.
As long as we don't start talking about, I was gonna say a joke. It was I wanted to wait for them to be on the line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it for when they on.
Okay. Now, but King is watching these videos religiously though. Religiously. I know you're going, I mean, come on, brother, man. You talking about religious. We're doing involved being religion and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, man, the black community is the focal point, man. You know, it's the focal point. It's the Mecca. It's the Mecca. You know what I'm saying? People sit you, they sit you and they criticize. I say ain't no way in the world. Because again, you go to these schools, these Ivy League schools and these white schools where what's the movie again? What was the movie again? The Hate You Give. I don't know if you watched that. The Hate You Give.
I never seen that. Don't spoil it for me. I ain't never seen it.
All right, then just a little bit. Just a little quote on that. Where this.
Don't.
The Hate You Give was where there was given a lot of hate. There was given a lot of hate, and it was getting more back.
You know what? How about this? I'm gonna watch that movie. I'm gonna watch it, and then I'm gonna come back and we gotta chop it up on that movie.
And I believe you too.
Say it again.
And I believe you as well, as much as I believe me jumping on here with King and not having King overpower us in terms of conversation. I believe you just as much as that. You're gonna watch that movie at a timely fashion. Listen to me, peeps. You watching this video. A year later, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna ask him, did he watch the movie and listen to his
Go ahead. Explain the movie. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna explain the movie though.
Okay.
But just a little bit.
Go ahead.
But there was this black girl. She went to a private school.
Don't tell me.
That girl went to a private. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Yeah, but yeah, man, the black community is definitely it's on the uprise. And this is something that we have to definitely put time into consideration in, you know, because I know I was talking to you on another live that I didn't post. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna say it again. I had this I remember me talking to this Haitian lady. She was born in France, but background is Haitians in Haiti. Her mom and her father was born in Haiti. She was conceived in Haiti, but she moved to France. And she came to me and she told me that her parents instructed her to not date African Americans because they're not about nothing. And again,
I knew this conversation.
Yes, instructed her not to do it. I'm like, I was so mad when she told me that. Again, you can hear the accent. You already know I wasn't born here, you know? And I got so freaking mad. Like, oh, she's asking me what my ethnicity is, what's my nationality is. And I was like, oh, she's like, I'm glad you're not African American. I'm like, why? Because
Wow.
they're lazy and so fun. I'm like, what? And again, that's like you're a person. She don't have a. She was born in France, but her accent is she sound like she was born here in America. So I said, you been living here how long again? She said she grew up like 5, 6 years in France, but now she's living here now. And I said, okay, cool. So I said, you grew up around black people, right? She's like, yeah, I did. And if just in case for you don't know, African Americans in America refer to African Americans as black and islanders as islanders. Just for people don't know, I learned that when I was living in New York. I thought I was black, but West Indian or islanders and so forth. But African Americans refer to African Americans as black and others as, you know what I'm saying, others. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah, so I was like, you didn't grow up around black folks? And she was like, yeah, I did. And I said, and that's still your mindset, even after your father? She said, yes, because I see them but nothing but baby daddies and baby mamas and so forth. So I was so upset. Like you grew up with them and you understand the condition and she know the education of Haiti and everything. But I'm like, but why is your mindset like that? I was so upset. I'm like, why is your mind? I never lived here for as long as she did. And I'm like, my mindset is completely different. I understand the systemic racism. I understand that it's 400 years of preconditioning, conditioning, the king like to say shampoo and lotioning, you know what I'm saying, that occurred. So I understand your mindset, but
Yeah.
seriously, you're going to sit here and you're going to put everybody in that bubble. Eventually I stopped talking to the individual. I was upset. I wanted to be mad disrespectful, be
She
mad
wouldn't
like you.
even she wouldn't even believe. I'm gonna tell you this real quick. She wouldn't even believe if she heard me communicate with her, she probably wouldn't even believe that, she would probably ask me the same question. Because I've had people not believe that I was from Georgia,
I did too. I didn't hear an accent with you either. I didn't hear an
man.
accent from you. You didn't
now
sound
what
like a hillbilly.
now what I want you to do, because it's on my mind, is, man, go ahead, tell the movie, man. Go ahead, explain it. Look at your face.
Man, we're not about to do this. We ain't about to do no wishy-washy shit, you know. but but a little bit of movie. It ain't
Go
taking
ahead,
it
tell me.
ain't
Go ahead,
taking
tell me.
taking a part of the movie. Just a little bit.
Go ahead, tell me.
You had this black girl. She went to a private school, predominantly white school,
Right, right, right.
and an incident happened. And it was like, oh, you don't. The girl is doing a comparison. The girl, she's like, oh, you're not a threat. You're not like them. So she was like, what is like them? She said, oh, you're
Mm,
not like them. So in my mind, to weak, because her father was really, 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 really pro-black. So when she's educated, meaning her father educated her. It is nothing to me to have education and not pass the education along or pass it down to your seeds. That's who needed the most, your seeds. Because they're the next generation, literally. So yeah, so when she said it to her, say you're not like them, she's like, what you mean like them? So I said it to say this, like, when you send your children to these places, that's when white supremacy and other doctrine teach your children how to hate blackness, being black, displaying who you are, displaying your culture and so forth. That's what I was getting behind it.
that's great, man. That's excellent. I'm a movie fanatic. That's why I said don't tell me. But you know what? This is for the people.
Mhm.
Forgive me. It's for the people. So express yourself.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, 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 no. That's it. That's it. That's like, what I'm saying, that wake up, because again,
Yeah,
we have
yeah, because
prime example of Obama. Like how Obama is so proper that people look at him as him sounding white, and I said he just sound really, really proper. How is proper equivalent to anybody being white? You know,
exactly.
of course, this is not our native language. This is not your native name. Your native name ain't what's your name right now, and this ain't my native name. This is the name given to us from our slave master, at least the last name. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, like Obama.
And to piggyback off of what you were saying about the young lady from France, it's a powerful. See, the thing about it is, like we was having this conversation before, I think, and a lot of people believe that all Haitians practice voodoo. Now, what if that was my stereotype for her? Oh, you practice voodoo. I ain't messing with you. You know.
I understand your background with it, and also I want to add also before I get crucified for my other Haitian
But no,
my
hold
Haitian
on.
friends.
I can do it too. I can do it too. I can let
Okay.
no voodoo is voodoo. The original voodoo, voodoo,
There we go.
is about healing.
There we
But
go.
from an American perspective,
hmm
we were raised that voodoo was bad.
hmm
So that's where. So I would look at her and say, "Oh, you ain't finna cast no spell on me."
hmm
Having the American perspective, so I know the hoodoo, the voodoo, and the healing, and
A form of spirituality.
right.
A form of being one with the earth, being closer to the creator, being divine. You understand? Divine intervention, divine power. You know what I'm saying? As well. Again, the reason why it was labeled as black magic, because the people who labeled it as black magic didn't understand it, and since they couldn't understand it, or you left already, 1 second, because they didn't understand it or
Oh no, I didn't
comprehend it.
leave. I didn't leave. I hear you. I forgot. I was on another. I was on another app at the same time, and I forgot, so I had to cut it off. Go ahead.
Are you good? Yeah, the one who labeled it as being black magic or evil or whatever, they didn't understand it. And also voodoo and voodoo was used to defeat the French. They didn't
Absolutely.
understand it. They couldn't use it. They didn't understand Mama Africa. You understand? And all her blessings that she bestowed upon us. So they
Absolutely.
labeled as being black magic or evil. You know, when Napoleon was there trying to colonize, when they colonized Haiti and try to rule with an iron fist, and they came back and fight them. That's why it's labeled as evil. They didn't understand it. They, up to this day, don't understand it. Voodoo is some mythical in the Caribbean, other Caribbean islands. We call it give me a second, Obeah. We refer to it as being as Obeah, and like bush medicine. You know what I'm saying? They call witch doctors and so forth. One of my brothers, well, one of my acquaintances, he did a whole lecture on it. He did a whole lecture on
Right.
IET, the proper pronunciation IET. Um, so yeah, that was good. I said again, she was just a lost cause. She was a lost cause, and I tried to just let her
Hmm.
understand, because again, like, we have so much backward thinking. Because me here coming here to America and having people again who never really, like, they communicate with them, but never like really fully understand, have so much negative outlook because of the social media, the news outlet, like painting America, African American, as being savages, animals, beasts, and so forth. So therefore, you coming into the picture with that same negative focus, that negative outlook. So therefore,
And
you view people and you see a one or two, because there's always one or two bad apples in the whole bunch. Always one or two when you look at the whole collective whole as being stereotypical, so to speak. You know, like, oh yeah, they're absolutely right. I see one or two. I could meet 1,000 people, right? And within that 1,000 people, I met two people. Maybe I met two of them before or after, or maybe, I'm saying one, and then met 500. But then since I saw that two, because again, my negative outlook kind of outshine logic. You understand? And reason. That again, you go in the Bahamas, you're gonna find people that meet the stereotype, or that America has on blacks. Right, in the Bahamas, you go to Africa, you're gonna meet the same thing. You go inside Australia, you're gonna meet the same thing. You go inside Britain, the same thing. But then their focal point is try to criminalize African Americans, like we're savages, like that we're not doing the best of our ability. I want to sit here and I want to piggyback too, that we're a resilient race of people. We're a resilient race of people. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you why we're a resilient race of people. Very hospitable, because we had 275 years of slavery. I said us as a collective whole. We had 275 years of slavery, followed by 100 years of freaking segregation. You understand? 100 years of segregation. And even with the 107, 50, 54 years ago, we just was fighting for civil liberty. You understand? With the ability to vote legally. You understand what I'm saying? And yet, regardless of all of that, everything that happened, we still decide to love each other, to love everybody, because that's who we are. We're holistic people. We're very spiritual. You understand? We're very loving and kind. Although how people try to incriminate us, make us look like we're animals. You understand? And then also with that, you got to remember this, that for 400 years, 400 plus years, we've been told, even to this day, we've been told that everything about us is ugly, is hideous. We don't. I was watching a video I just posted on Facebook. I probably might tag in this video that people speaking that they have to kill 3 billion people, and he's talking about go to Africa because Africa is deplorable, disgraceful, tasteless, nothing. You understand that the view of these world, these higher powers, they come into play and try to make us look like we're just animals. You know, we're really animals, like you say we are. When is our time for our retribution? When will be the insurrection to do unto you like your forefathers it does? If we're so as bad as you claim us to be,
Right,
you know.
right, right. And
So
see,
that is,
and to piggy, go ahead. What you about to say?
no, I'm done.
Oh yeah, and to kind of piggyback off of that, what you were saying, like me personally, I it's like, you know, the reason why they're so defensive when it comes to us, especially black men, is because we're viewed as strong. We're viewed as ultimately strong. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We're viewed as people that are just we're viewed as unbreakable. So having that having that perspective when you see it's like you ever seen a lion walking down the street? Like you probably never seen an actual lion walking down the street, right?
No.
Like you probably be fearful, like, oh shit, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You know, oh man, but that's a lion, you know. That's how they view us. As soon as they see us, they're like, oh my gosh, like that's 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 something that can tear me from limb if he wanted to, you know. But I like that feeling actually. But to a certain extent, because the truth of the matter is that now I walk with that fear that they have on me, and I've learned to grasp onto it, and I've learned to deal with it, and I've learned to make it my own. So now when people put their girlfriend on the other side of me or something, on the other side of them when they walk past me or they walk across the street, you know, I make it seem like, yeah, you better do that. No, I'm being sarcastic, but
Mm-hmm.
the thing about it is the most important part of the black man and black woman that we have is the intelligence that we have. The intelligence. You had a lot of us.
Mm.
You had a
Break
lot of
that
us.
down. Break that down.
The intelligence. You had a lot of people like us who came out of slavery and taught themselves how to read. How do you teach yourself how to read?
Before that, I wanna piggyback because
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah,
Frederick Douglass, because I want to go ahead. Let's go to history lesson. Frederick Douglass during slavery, when it was outlawed to read because of Nat Turner insurrection, where Frederick Douglass still continued to talk. And I don't know if a lot of people know Frederick Douglass was considered as one of the best black orators, public speakers. You understand? He said, I forget what his book was. I think that the Perfect Orator or something like that he read, and he taught himself how to read. Well, he manipulated some slaves that he went to school around this area. He would give them his food in terms of they would teach him how to read. You know, he learned how to read from the slave master, but then they outlawed it, and he wasn't able to read again. You know what I'm saying? And then he manipulated his peers, his white peers, for them
right.
to teach him how to read. So yeah.
And the powerful thing behind that is if they outlawed reading, that is the most important thing we should be doing as black people is reading. Is reading. That is like the number one, to me, that's the number one thing our children should be doing is reading. You know, well, I can't say number one, but one of the number one things our children should be doing is reading, is picking up a book and being educated through constant uh, visual performance of reading. You know, opening their imagination. Because slaves who could read, they had a better chance being free mentally first. And
Mm.
I think I think reading is the gateway. That's the gateway out of I think anything, man.
I wanna piggyback on what you're saying in terms of reading liberates your mind. Truthfully speaking, some of our great ancestors, uh, like I'm a huge, huge W.E.B. Du Bois. I'm a huge W.E.B. Du Bois fan. I feel like W.E.B. Du Bois, not as I feel, I know that at his time, he was a man among boys in terms of his intellectually, him being intellect, intelligence, intellect, his words, his eloquence, every single thing. I literally like that. Would, if that, as somebody will, of course, it'd be Malcolm. If I could go back in the past and meet one of my ancestors, it would definitely probably Khalid Muhammad too. I'd be a toss up, but W.E.B. Du Bois is definitely one of his work. Anyhow, I feel like me personally, I feel like reading liberates your mind, but also with Booker T. Washington too, also with Frederick Douglass as well, because they understood that religion was man-made. Even back in the 1800s, they understand that religion was man-made. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what it is, man-made up religion. Again, religion is these organizations. You understand? They surpassed it. Booker T. Washington, one guy was like, yo, Booker T. Washington, Reverend Booker T. Washington, I'm not a reverend. He said, I'm not religious in this sense. You understand? Because I feel like he ascertained a higher power in his reading. Same thing as W.B. Du Bois. He surpassed that. He surpassed the realm. Let's say in Charles Darwin, Charles Darwin or anything, but the education surpassed that. They just surpassed it. Even with Frederick Douglass the same way. Even though him and his co-part Harriet Tubman, because they was around almost the same time, but not really the same time, because Harriet Tubman was a little older. They surpassed it from reading, from opening their mind, and listening. And that was a huge tool, a tool with slavery, because it's like, okay, cool. Everything you could sit here and take away the weapons from slaves. You said, fuck that. You rather take away their ability to read. Because again, you read, you start to open your mind. The more thoughts, more ideas start flow through it. You know what I'm saying? You might read a book, and a book will sit there and teach you about revolution, rebellion, or teach you about the civil rights from 1776. And then I'll give you it spark off a little fuse. You understand? So definitely reading. I love that how you said that though. Reading opens your mind to a
Yeah,
lot of possibilities.
and there's three things that we all should be focusing on, and not just and as much as this is for our we this platform is definitely for our people. Um, at the same time, the information of meditating, reading, and physical, and athleticism, those ideals can be, I'm looking for big words. I'm gonna say distributed. They can be distributed universally, but for our people, we especially need to be meditating, getting a pattern of our breathing together, and reading to get a pattern of our knowledge together, and then physically physically building ourselves and eating clean. These are
Mm.
the things we need to be focused on, and we need to be into agriculture. We need
Mm. Mm.
we need to be growing our own food, and because all that affects your mind too, what you eat. So
Mm-hmm.
reading at the same time, reading is a diamond. If people will get their sons and daughters to read, if Black people would get their sons and daughters to read and turn the video game off, turn the phone off, turn these things off, and give them a book, give them something that they can utilize that's going to benefit them for the rest of their life. Um,
Mm.
the reason why it's so much destruction in our neighborhood is because a lot of us just don't read. That is a fact. Drug dealers would not want to sell drugs if they grew up reading all the time. Some of them probably still grow up
Ah,
to
I want to say that just now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Some of them still grow up to sell drugs and stuff like that. But if they're directed growing up and they're using that knowledge to benefit them away from illegal activity, and it's being used for legitimate activity, then what's going to happen is the same imagination, that they was using while reading, it could be used to do something to benefit their people and not destroy their people. It's all a mindset. Nobody needs to sell dope to feed their family, but if they feel like that in their mind, they can take that same knowledge that they read about and use it to destroy their people. So there's also has to be a guidance with the knowledge that people are attaining, what our children are
Mhm.
attaining. So it's not just about reading a book and then opening, it's about reading and having the guidance from somebody that's going to elevate you, that's going to, put the icing on the cake with that elevation to help you further, further with the knowledge you have.
Mhm. I wanted to add with that because Huey P. Newton, I'm sorry I'm not throwing no dirt on his name. Huey P. Newton, he said he went to school or educated himself to become a better criminal. Become a better criminal, and you already know how he went. He
Yeah.
went. Uh, he was a genius as well. He was a genius as well, and caught up in the street. Huey reminded me of Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? Was a person who was about that life for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Walk that walk and talk that talk as well. Um, but also like how he switched that. He said, yeah, he said he originally went to school to become a better better criminal, but he also used that. He switched it and started quoting the law. You understand, and have to open carry, like I have right to carry firearms. You know what I'm saying? Me being an American citizen and whatever else the case may be. And they pass all these legislations and ratify all these new laws for us can carry in firearms. And now those having a felony and not be able to carry firearms and all this other good shit. You know what I'm saying? But I was all because of Huey P. Newton, you know what I'm saying? Bending the law to his own will, which America does on the whole. You know what they said again? It ain't.
Mhm.
He was a pioneer. He was a pioneer in terms of changing the judicial system because it's like, truth be told, you can be guilty, but you're innocent until proven guilty. You understand? You go into court and the laws. When you see all these rich. We saw the same thing with O.J. Simpson as well. You know what I'm saying? I think the world know O.J. O.J. was somewhat guilty. And even white America knew too. That's why they came back after him years later. You know what I'm saying? For him he took that pure and holy white woman away from them. One for him wedding her, and two for allegedly him killing her, whatever else the case may be. But yeah, here QEP Newton also he revolutionized for us being able to speak, even though right now we talk back, we get killed. You know what I'm saying? We don't talk back, we still get killed, and a weapon get planted on us, or they thought what it seemed to be a weapon in their eyes and what's not.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, man.
Reading liberates the mind, you said, or it helps you towards the path of gaining enlightenment.
You said what helps? What helps? What now?
I said, you said reading liberates the mind or puts you towards a path for enlightenment.
It does, and you can be in. You can. The thing about it is, if if I were to read 2 or 3 books a week, see, I wish that my job was just meditating, reading, and physically getting myself right. If that was my job, I would probably be I'll be employee of the month because I would utilize all the information I can to build myself.
Of
Um,
course.
that's the most. I mean, us as a people, we have to focus on our development, and we have to stay busy developing ourselves daily. We can't spend all this time on these phones. We can't spend all this time laying down. We can't spend all this time hanging out. But we have to spend more time developing ourselves fully. Powernomics.
I know I spoke to you on that the other day. Powernomics. I don't know if you could read it. It said the national plan to empower Black America.
The national plan to empower Black. Oh, that's dope. See,
Yes.
that's the kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff we need to be reading. Like, you know, if you if we were reading things like that, those are the things that I would have my children reading. Things that's going to open their mind to empower their people.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be more subject to what I can't say subject. That sounds like more. They'll be more. They'll be more prone to do something for their people than against their people if they're taught to empower their people.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to be teaching our young Black men to empower their people.
Yes.
and our young Black women to
Mm,
empower their people. But
yes,
we're not
because
being
America will teach you how to take away.
absolutely.
How to,
And the messed up part about it is, man, it seems like Black women nowadays are more known now for twerking than being an educator and a mother.
I mean, and you do have like shout out to my son mother. You know what I'm saying? My son he about to be two. He about to be two in February. To be two in February, and prior to that, like maybe like a few months ago, my son was able to count to one. Like he counted 1 to 10 by himself. You know, he could go to maybe 20, but he need help from 13, from 13 up. You know, that was his mom, solely his mom. You know what I'm saying? He's a brilliant, gifted mind. You know, and that's solely from his mom. His mom she's like an educator. You know what I'm saying? She birthed her genetics is spurred. You know, because both her boys is it seems, both her boys is in the same status in terms of early learning, you know, and that's again from her. You do have educators out there as well, you know what I'm saying? But again, they get overshadowed by all of these
That's true.
negative images from America, you know what I'm
Absolutely. I
saying?
totally agree with you. And see, um, like we have plenty of Black women out there who are educators, who love their people, who want to uplift their people.
Also, 1 second, also Sister Betty, her husband was died when her children was at a young age, and she carried that load and she never remarried. Sister Betty Shabazz as well.
Wow.
Sister Betty Shabazz. I think he had five daughters, and she was educated every last one of them in the teaching of of a husband, a late husband, as
Man,
well.
that's a strong Black woman.
She
That's a
went off. She went off to school and she got a PhD, by the way, as well, while she was being a mother.
wow. And see, that's what I'm talking. Like that's a beautiful thing. And see, and what they want to do is, like you were saying, they want to overshadow that with the twerking and the clubbing and drinking and acting a fool. They want to put that, they want to put that on the Black woman more than what she really is, which is an educator and a mother, like
Yes,
a valuable mother. You know,
and also I wanna also add as well, in terms of our topic from the other day, that certain mothers are put in certain situations where mothers got to be dominant because again, some mothers are raising boys and boys can feed off energy. You know that my dad tell you something, so therefore you have some moms have to be mother and they got to be father. They got to be mom and dad. You understand what I'm saying? So therefore they're giving off these energies. You know what I'm saying? That's why again, because I feel like again some mothers just don't understand that, so they just continue being a role, like they don't adapt. You know what I'm saying? This world is full of adaptation, evolution, and that's
and
why
what?
you have a lot. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, go ahead. You have a lot of what I want to hear what you have to say.
And you have a lot of mothers them kick out this feminine energy because you know it's a boy, like period. Like my mother would sit and tell me something, period, right? And I would listen if I want to, and if I don't, really. My father sit and tell me something from the masculine energy, it's like off the rip. You gonna do it, or my pop's gonna put me, he gonna put me down on the floor on my face. You know what I'm saying? Period. Period. That's what I grew up to.
And you know the power in that right there, what you just said.
Mm,
Imagine growing up with just your mom, with just anybody's mom, telling them what to do, telling their son what to do, how to do it, when to do it, or whatever. How's he gonna guess what? A lot of those men who go through stuff like that, if their mom is not a master at creating a distinction between mother and just being another woman, he's going to allow himself to be put in a situation where he's in subject to women, period. Because that same energy she's giving off, if there's not a distinction, if there's not a distinction there to where she's not, and this is in general, I'm not talking about all single mothers or nothing like that. This is in general. Like if there has to be a distinction, you as a mother, and not just some woman that's disciplining this child, but a mother. You have to explain to this child, you are their mother. You take this information from me as a child, but when you grow up, you you have to be a man and operate like a man in front of women. And these women need to start putting men in their son's life, but they're not. You know what I'm saying? They need to, good, righteous brothers that's going to give them knowledge. But we don't. What's happening is these mothers are so, I don't know. You know, they want these weak, I don't know, these weak men that are just subjects. Not all of them, but these brothers out here, man. They got a lot of weak brothers out here, man. And and these are the main ones that are teaching our sons to mistreat women and
Yeah.
mistreat other brothers.
hmm Also, also, and I know I'm playing the devil advocate again. I don't, because I don't want to come off as me being biased because I don't want to get crucified. It's kind of easy to come off as being misogynist or sexist. I don't want to come off as that,
Yeah,
And at
because
the same time, we can't agree upon everything. But I do believe again that, uh, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you what you said again. I do feel like that put men in an awkward position. I do understand what you're saying, your point of view, because again, if the mom don't make a distinction between I'm doing it because I'm your mother and you should be certain way as you get older, you're gonna sit here and have that same mentality that I'm supposed to be dominated by a woman. You understand? And that's going to become the new norm. That if I don't, like, okay, this is my situation, and honestly speaking, because I've never been an alpha. I've never been an alpha. Period. You know what I'm saying? I'm more laid back, chill. I don't believe in dominating no one. But my ex-wife, my ex-wife, um, we was together, and again, it was like again, she was older. She was older. She had a better career than me. You know what I'm saying? Education, everything. You know what I'm saying? And she would throw it in my face here and there. And as a point in time, it was cool. When I saw my son came in the picture, and she still tried to continue to be that alpha, and I said, "It's a problem. That's now you're setting the trend on what a man's supposed to be. A man's supposed to be and what he's supposed to do. Now, again, my son's going to see it like, yo, it's okay for your mom to lead the house and your mom to dominate you and what you see. No, 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 no talk. Because again, we was both inexperienced. We was in our early 20s. You know what I'm saying? We was in our early 20s. Um, and I was like, yeah, you set in the stage. And I was like, oh, I can't have not that it's just say pride sake, but I'm like, that ain't the role of a woman. And that's definitely in the role of a man, period. You understand? That's like, yeah, that's not saying it's toxic. Because again, it was my choice to sit here and establish dominance. It's also her choice to sit here and submit. We submit to both parties. But at the same time, I was like, I'm giving off a bad vibe, and now my son gonna sit here and he gonna see his father, and he gonna feel like he has to know him, like he's supposed to do this, or he's supposed to argue. So I do understand. I do understand that a little ways as well. But aiding the queens is sometimes they put in a situation that they deal with boys. They deal with boys. They deal with boys. So sometimes, like when you deal with a boy and then you come to deal with a man, you understand his difference. Like everybody like their own way. You know what I'm saying? That it's a trait. Even children at a young age, when they don't get something, they want to pout and sulk. Like, ooh, I want my own way, temper tantrum and so forth. Everybody want their own way. Let's say, for instance, taking us off topic. This is your wife. This is your woman. Now, you get off from work, whatever else the case may be. You don't get no buns and wild. You sit here and your wife like, oh, I'm tired. I don't have no sex now. You feeling because I ain't bust no cheeks in maybe 2 weeks and you can get your way. Man, I'm mad as hell, yo. You know what I'm saying? Your situations are different. I know you said you're gonna have other. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just talking about a man coming home to just one woman. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna throw a temper tantrum. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna
mm,
tell you this right here. When I had one, I'm gonna tell you this, and this is when I had one woman. Sometimes she felt like she had the right to tell me no. You know what I'm saying? Now
mm,
she has the right to tell me no. I'm not gonna
mm,
force myself on her and stuff like
mm.
that. Or she might have been too sleepy or whatever to say yes. I don't know, but I ain't gonna. If she say no, then I'm not gonna try to. I'm be like, I'm like, okay, okay, I got you. When I brought another woman into the picture, it was always yes. It was always yes.
That's
As
both
a
of y'all
matter of
playing
fact,
chess.
I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna tell no, it wasn't even like that. It wasn't even like that because I didn't pull another woman in the picture because I wanted more sex because I was getting enough sex. That wasn't the case.
Mhm.
It was first of all, I want to say it was lust, but it was uncontrolled. It was uncontrolled. I should have controlled myself within it. It should have been more orderly. Um, when I started arguing with the other one, I wanted to be with someone else that wasn't going to go back and forth with me all the time. But then this one started going back and forth with me too. So this was something that was within me that I had to change. Because I go to the next woman, the same thing probably happened. So it's something within myself that I had to change, and making sure that I'm able to dominate myself first before I try to be the alpha male in any kind of relationship. You know what I'm saying? Dominate, be the alpha over myself, and learn to control my own mind, my own heart. And once I'm able to do that, if I can control and dominate myself, then I can be a better leader, and I can be, I can submit up under the right things in a relationship or relationships, you know. And that's how I view it. Because sex is not a problem. Like, sex is not a problem for me. Like, I think, the longest time I've ever had no kind of release and full retention was like 8 months, where I didn't need to do, and I want to, one of these days I might go longer than that, because I want to be able to control myself. And as black men, we have to learn to control ourselves and not let our women control us, and that's one thing we have to do, because they'll try to, a lot of black women will try to control you. And, I think it's because of the society we live in, but they'll try to control the mess out of you because they want their way. And they have more power than us a lot of the times, because the power is on their side. The power is going to submit to them more than it will you a lot of the times, because they don't have the same physical power as you. So somebody's going to aid them to what they're trying to do with their controlling behavior. And that's just me playing the advocate as well. Let me stop.
It's cool. But I said again, yeah, we have to be in control with ourselves. We have to be in control with our emotions. I do want to understand. One second. Excuse me.
Now you go to sleep, bro. No, I was
Um, now, I do wanna add this, that we are human. We everybody emotions. I'm upset. I'm angry. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. But also, what I'm saying, being in control of your emotions. I feel like what you're saying about um your vow of chastity. You know what I'm saying? Your abstinence,
right. Absolutely.
that helps you, because I was reading with Buddhist monk. They do that, like no abstinence, complete abstinence, because they said rather than focusing on sex, you focus on yourself. You can focus on your emotion or focus on something else. Master something else. You understand? You can master something else. Take away something. You understand? To master something completely new, something completely different. So I definitely I believe in that regard. For me to sit here and say when I'm going to go down that path, not sure yet. You know what I'm saying? Just the abstinence yet. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely feel personally that we have to be in control with our emotions. We get control of our emotions, because I feel like a lot of black family, black household, they need therapy. Need a lot of therapy. You understand? Because again, we got released out of slavery. And that same broken mentality that we learned in slavery, you had our great, 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 great grandparents taught to their parents, and they're taught, it all trickled down to us. You understand? So I feel like a lot of black broken homes, until we realize that and understand that we have to find somebody that's going to be beneficial and conducive towards us in terms of getting our mind right. Because if your mind ain't right or you're not happy, like people go in a situation like, yo, I want somebody to make me happy. Nobody can make you happy. You have to make yourself happy. Nobody can go there and give you no success. You got to go there and do it for yourself. Because if I give you $1 million, I give you $1 million, would you truly sit here and be like, yo, I know what it took, or what grit, grind, blood, sweat, and tears it took for me to get this $1 million? Or it's gonna be like you have a silver spoon in your mouth. Somebody sit and say, yo, I can lose $5 million right here today, but I knew how I got the $5 million. So I could lose it and I could get it right back because I know what it took for me to get there. So I could lose it and get it right back. I forgot. I talked myself out of my own thoughts. Gave me a minute. What was I saying initially?
You was talking about you basically what I got at what you were saying was when you teach silver spoon in the mouth $1 million, you give somebody $1 million and they got to if I give you
Oh yeah, happy. Sorry, yeah, you're happy. Happy.
uh,
Nobody gonna make you happy. Like nobody can make you happy. You gotta gain happipiness from yourself. Now somebody can help you maintain your happiness. You understand? But if I have the power to give you happiness and then we're not together, you think I'm gonna leave you being happy? No, I'm gonna take it away from you. I have the power to give it to you. I have the power to take it away from you as well. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just saying, like if I'm happy, I made you happy, and now we're not together because there's something you did, then I have everything in my rights to try to fuck your life up completely. Immaturely, that's immature feedback. But I'm just saying nobody can give you happiness. You gotta find that your happiness yourself. If you're not happy, nobody else can make you happy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta
and that also goes with asking our oppressors for equality.
I'm gonna go ahead and give you, I'm gonna give you equality now. What you think, now you just now, what makes you think that you're not gonna give me the same hand that I gave you, the same plate that I served you with? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That made a lot of sense. Malcolm
If I,
X said it's the best. He said nobody, he said, I just talked myself with him, my thoughts were even talking. He said nobody can give you freedom. You have to go there and take it. John Brown, a white old military guy, a white guy who fought for black liberation after Nat Turner. After Nat Turner is another white guy. His name is John Brown. He said black people can't go to office and vote and protest. He said you have to take your freedom by any means necessary. He didn't say that's by any means is Malcolm X, period. But that was he's basically saying. Nobody can give you your freedom. You have to take your freedom. If I give you the power to, if I give you your freedom, I can also snatch your freedom away from you. Makes sense, right?
absolutely, absolutely, and that's what my mentality is basically
I
making
was
sure
tired. I was tired.
that basically us as a people, we need to really be focusing on building something within ourselves and not trying to gain any kind of power from an oppressor, because the oppressor is not going to give us any kind of power. He's going to give us limited power.
He'll
Just like
give you dream facades.
I have to pay a light bill, it's limited power because I have to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
A phone bill, these are bills, you know what I'm saying? But it's all limited power, you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? And that's it. It's like they give me a certain amount of money, that's limited power because I still have to I got to pay taxes on this. So that's
Mm-hmm.
limited power. So I don't have true. So if I got to pay taxes in a land that my ancestors were enslaved in, and the natives were, stripped of their land, and I still got to pay taxes, the American government is still slave owners, oppressors, and they still have control over all powers. If we're being taxed,
Mm-hmm.
if the if natives and blacks are still being taxed by all the stuff like that, we there's nothing that we can ask for. I don't want them to give us any reparations back. The only thing I want, I think, from the American government are all these Caucasian men and some women. I say Caucasian men because it's really it's the woman too, but a lot of these white men, man, they just on another level with their dominance.
Yes.
They
I want to just add one thing, what you were just saying just now, and I just
yeah,
from the power numbers, I wanted to I know you probably can see this a little bit. Said
the keys and empowerment, right?
the
To
key to
empowerment.
yeah, the key is to empowerment. He said any race that loves the world and hates itself will eventually become its own oppressor. Any race that loves the world and hates itself will eventually becomes its own oppressor.
That's powerful.
Again, the whole, let me say it again, the 275 years. That's why we do what we do. That's why we do what we do, period. Like we had 275 years. Let's just sum it to 400 years. It's been longer than that because we came in from 1619 allegedly. We came in from 1619, you know, so 1619 to 2019. That's 400 years. Let's go ahead and let's just leave it at 400 years. Even though 1492 Columbus was in, you know what I'm saying, he came to the Americas and the Caribbeans, allegedly. But anyhow, let's also go back to in terms of where our sense of hate stems from. You know, help. Go ahead. I hear you. Go ahead.
And it's funny because I was reading this book and the slavery, it was some slavery that was going on in the 1400s, from the 1400s to a certain, no, hold on. 14 to, no, yeah, from the 1400s to another date, and it was 430 years.
Mm-hmm.
When you read the Bible, it talks about being enslaved for 430 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not trying to get biblical to it.
Spoke of the chosen sons and daughters of Zion, Zionists, Yasharella, Gorbathar.
Yeah,
The sons and daughters of Israel being sold, and not knowing their own nation. You know, basically, religious.
They according to the Bible, they came out of Egypt 430 years.
Mm-hmm.
Been the same exact 430 years in the history in 1400 to another date. I forgot the date that it was, but it was, I added it up and I said, dang, that's 430 years as well. It was crazy to me.
Gorbathar.
Don't show him that. Don't show him that.
He'll probably be like, conscious. Yeah, man. So yeah. So in regards to why would your oppressors help you get out of funk when they benefit? They benefit the prison system. We're commodities. We're commodities. Like we were in slavery. We're commodities for these privatized prison. I call them these corporations. These corporations.
Did you hear about this post where this a black woman asked a white man, "Why do you hire all these black women for your company?" And he gave her a whole thesis about how black women how they were treated in slavery and they still overcame and all this stuff. A big thesis. And he said he feel like if you can go through that, then you'll be the best employee for my company. To me, that was like a reversal racism. Like that was like a subliminal racist, not reversal racism, but it was a subliminal racist kind of, it was, to me, it was invisible racism. Like you just basically said you're hiring this black woman because of how dominant, of how strong she was in slavery. Mm-hmm. So now if she was strong in slavery, she's gonna be strong for your company because she getting paid. Mm-hmm. That's not, to me as a black man. Mm-hmm. If I heard a Caucasian man say something like that,
I'd use another C word though. I would, me personally, I would use another C word, but I got you. I got you. In that time, it would be vindicated. My words would be vindicated.
I was gonna say that, but I know we on YouTube. So.
Yeah. I mean, we on YouTube and we have other races and ethnicity use the N-word too, and that don't get taken out of context. So I'm just saying.
Absolutely. Well, a cracker is someone that cracks the whip.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I mean, you got cracker, you got peckerwood, you have cracker peckerwood. Give me a minute. I forgot it. Honky, yes. I learned that when I was in the South. When I was living in the South, I was like, honky, there. Because again, I came from the island, so I was like, honky, tell us that. Honky, man. I was like,
but yeah, a cracker is a person that cracks the whip. So it's actually a compliment to call a Caucasian a cracker. Mm-hmm. Because a cracker is someone that's actually in power. Mm-hmm. That was a position. Mm-hmm. So, but anyway, so this modern day cracker to me,
That was a straight insult. That was an insult. Period. Ain't no way that shit you worded as an insult, a slap in the face. And then, if I was there, I was definitely going to put
And you,
my 5 fingers to his face.
and you know what the black, you know what the black woman was, all the black women was doing in the comments. Oh, that's great. That's good. Oh yeah, I'm gonna work for this white man. You know, they'll
Hmm.
work for the white man. They'll work for the white man and love his establishment, but a lot of times won't work for us as black men and love
Man, you
our.
gonna cause me get a lot of fire with the queens, boy. Because we feel like we just bashing them straight through, boy. You gonna cause
So
me get a lot of fire with the
let
queens, boy.
me say this. Let me say this.
Thank you. Clean
I,
it up, please. Clean it up.
I love black women.
Mhm,
Don't get me twisted.
mhm,
I love black women. It's
mhm,
just I'm not speaking of all black women. I'm
mhm.
speaking of these straight haired, hot combed, relaxing. I can get all this stuff. I'm talking about them. But I'm not even
I don't
talking about.
co-sign the message. I don't co-sign this message at all. I don't know this man. This will probably be the last video I make with him. Got me some hot water. Oh man, who the him? He sound like a real hater. Oh him, he don't sound like he been bashing women the whole time. Listen to me, I
But
do understand this. I do understand this. I do understand this. This because the black man is responsible for let's say putting a black woman in his place, but have the black woman maintain the image. You are me, I am you. You're a mirror, a reflection of me. I am who I am. I choose you as my mate. You are my reflection till we approach as the world. So therefore, you got to be high. You got to be held accountable just as well as I am held accountable. You understand? Because again, you're gonna be my woman. Eventually, I mean, say you're gonna be my woman. You're gonna be my wife. You're gonna be the mother of my child. You understand? So what you teach, what you instill, that's what Malcolm X is teaching. He said, when you choose a woman, remember that you're choosing somebody who's gonna be the teacher of your younging. You understand? So therefore, it got to be held in high regard. I do understand that as well. The black man got to be held in high regard too, because again, you're going to be a father, and if you have a son, your son going to be mimicking you, and your daughter going to look at you like, I want a father like I want a man like my father, and vice versa. The son going to say, I want a woman like my mother. You know, what I'm saying a loving,
and this is no
nurturing. Go ahead.
and this is no disrespect. So I'm not even gonna mention what family member said this
Mhm.
because I love them, you know. But I have to say it for this podcast because what you just said reminded me. You said I want I want a man like my father. Now, me being in a family where there's a lot of single mothers, I'm not gonna give any distinction of who this is because I love them. They might see the
Of
video.
course.
My one of my younger family members said this to her mother. I said you need to. I said I told her you need to get you gonna get with a man. I was really kind of I was real hard on her a lot of the times, and I told her you gonna end up being with a man like me because that's the reflection. I can sense you're gonna be with a man like me. Not you know what I'm saying, but then I told and then she said um I'm going to be with a man like my mom. Mm. But hold
Wow.
but this is no now this was years ago. She was probably like 12, 13, but this is no shade to them. Forgive me if y'all are watching this. At the same time, they probably even remember who they were because it was so long ago. But the thing about it is, when she said that, I said, "Wow." I said, and this is what these women are doing. They're
Is
getting
that
men.
Is
They're
that
getting
because of a lack of father figure or a lack of
absolutely,
okay, okay.
absolutely, of course,
Hmm.
and of course, yeah, And the thing about it is, um, the thing about it is
Little
that's
FYI, little
that's what
FYI,
that's
we passed an hour. We passed
I
an
see.
hour like okay, gotcha, making sure.
I see it, and
No rush, no rush, no rush at all.
I see. And the thing about it is, that's what we see. We see a lot of these young black women
Hmm.
who who are hooking up with who are hooking up with men that act like women, and that's what we see. And guess what? The reason why we see that is because we got. Now I love my family. You feel me? Like I love my family, we just have to educate our children on the ideology of what a man is and what a woman is. This is why the mentality of a man and a woman being equal to me sounds like nonsense because I can't breastfeed. In the department of nurturing, you are better than me at that. I'm willing to admit it. I need you. I need you in your nurturing mentality. I need that in my life. I'm built like that. You know, I'm built to need you. You're built to need me. But guess what? It's being blocked.
I
It's being
gotta, I gotta. 'Cause I'm glad you mentioned the whole nurturing thing. My brother made a valid point because he's talking to me earlier. He said there are men that are nurture as well. You understand? There are men in the same situations that are they're single mothers. They're single mothers. They're also the single fathers as well, where the father have to be the nurturer until he find a replacement. Not really say there's nobody to replace a mom, but find a replacement, to fill that void. So therefore,
understood.
fathers have to be nurtured. That's how mother adapt and evolve. Fathers do the same thing. You understand? Even braiding the daughter's hair or whatever else the case may be, doing the duty of the mother. You understand?
But guess what? And I agree with you. And at the same time, how many women will quickly replace a man, but how many single fathers will quickly replace a woman? We see more women replacing men than we see men than we'll see a single father replacing a mother.
Hmm.
It is because women, you cannot. The thing about it is our value is being lessened in the minds of our women, so they can replace us quickly. It don't matter to them. Their mentality is to replace us as soon as we don't listen to what they want. And but for a man, his mentality is not to quickly replace a woman like that, not for the most part. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
know,
because me in my situation, sorry, but me in my situation is like, how like you can find a good woman because again, I'm a father of two. I'm a father of two. But to be a father of, I'm saying two, but be raising one full time. You understand what I'm saying? And his mom feel like it's okay for me to go ahead and find somebody else to replace her. I said, how? I said, I can go there. I said, same thing as a man. I said, I can go ahead. I said, I can go ahead and I can find a woman, maybe physically is appealing to me. I said, mentally, I don't know where she at. You understand? I don't know if I could leave my son around her and she could be, what I'm saying, like be belligerent or do some shisty stuff, you know what I'm saying, of him. I don't know if she's a sex offender, anything like that, you know what I'm saying? To replace her, like who gonna replace her? Who gonna love my child better than I can love him or better than his mother can love him? Nobody. You're gonna have
nobody.
temporary fill, you know what I'm saying? But I said that's gonna take long. At the same time, you're looking for substance. I'm looking for the same thing too. Who gonna fill a void? You know what I'm saying? Who I gonna sit here and see have the same principle ideals as me and who's actually and truly and genuinely because nobody, listen to me, I don't feel like you don't really get to know a person, really, really get to know a person until you start living with a person. And you see everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know what I'm saying? Period. So I'm gonna sit here and try to feel it. Like again, I might try to go there and be in the world and try to get my rocks off. You understand? It ain't personal, just business. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing to bring home. As I say, I feel the same way too. Because again, what image I put out there to my child is be the image that he going to gravitate. Now, our parents, them, they're so hypocritical. They would tell us, don't do as I do as I say. Which I feel is the biggest hypocrite. Was just being a flat out hypocrite. And I know that's taught a lot into the black community. No, practice what you preach. Be a living, walking example, exemplary. Mhm.
Absolutely, man. And
No,
and
you're talking about woman replacing man and man
absolutely,
faster.
yeah, right. And this goes back to the fact that if I have if I have a child with a woman, I should be raising that child, and she should be nurturing that child. This is
Yes.
this is why the child has our DNA.
Hmm.
This is why they relate to us because they're our relative.
Hmm. Hmm.
This is my child. I kid you not. I don't know how it would feel if a woman tried to put another man before my child and say, you know, because my child is not going to have two dads, even if it don't work out with me and the mom. All
Mm-hmm.
that my child, you know, I have two dads. I'll tell my son, you got one dad. That's me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You got one. I don't care what your mom say.
Mm-hmm.
You got one dad, and that's
Mm-hmm.
me.
Yep.
I don't care if he buys you a pony and a mansion
Mm-hmm.
and 40 acres.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You are my. You are my.
Mm-hmm. I feel the same way too. I feel the same way too.
Because my child is not calling another man dad.
Mm-hmm.
That's not gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't care
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how much of a hurt he is.
There's no cultural difference between us right there. I feel the very same way. I do understand. I
And
do
my
understand.
and my child is not gonna call another woman mom.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna call their mom, and they're gonna, you know, um, it's just that's just how it is, man. That's just how it's
Mm-hmm.
going.
Principles. You know what?
Yeah.
God Pathal was talking about the other day. Principles, having principles, morals, principles,
So
compass, moral compass.
you gotta have direction. See how me and you are communicating right now. If
Mm-hmm.
if we had power in America right now, we would be able to implement everything we're saying.
You probably be able to die because that will set ablaze to black empowerment. And black empowerment aren't allowed in America. Now the theory is allowed, but actually practicing, doing the practical, you understand, that's gonna get us killed. You
Absolutely.
understand? We could talk about it until it catch fire and people start living it, then we become
If we had the power, we could implement it and survive. But by
mm-hmm,
not having the power, that's the only way we die.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. We'd be the biggest threat. We'd be worse than ISIS and Osiris
And you know
and
why? And you
mm-hmm,
know why? Because they would have no control. I give America another 100 years, maybe no more than 300 or 400 years. And the reason why is because if
this
things
is
keep
modern day Babylon right here. This is modern
absolutely,
day Babylon. You know,
it's
this is
gonna be
almost Sodom and Gomorrah. This is that times 10. And not only the fact that Sodom and Gomorrah, because people always take Sodom and Gomorrah was not a righteous place at all, like a bunch of thieves, where people just participate in terms of same gender role. Not only that, it was just an unrighteous place. Gamblers, thieves, conniving, deceitful people on the whole are just unrighteous. Modern day Babylon is right here. You understand? Where people, the only thing is you got the rich. The whole thing is the whole image that's being taught to us is the rich taking from the poor. You know what I'm saying? Rich shitting on the poor and telling the poor to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? And the poor shitting on the poor as well because they're trying to emulate what the rich is doing. You know,
right,
this is. Go ahead.
right. And I think another subject for another video is black music and how you know everybody in the world loves black music, but they hate the creators of black music.
Mm, mm,
They love what we create. They love what we create, but they're at a distance from us. And
I'm a,
if somebody in their nation, if somebody in their nation starts to create the same kind of music that was really ours, you know, they'll love them and they'll say, "Oh man, you know, like it's a powerful thing, man." But
I'm gonna let you in on this one. Paul Mooney said it the best. He said you have people love black culture but don't like black problems. They love everything about being black until it's time to be black. They would take
mm,
everything, the music, the culture, the way we talk, the way we act, the use of the N-word. They would defend, black people defending other black people in terms of them being able to use the N-word. But when it's time to like black problems, like when one of us shot a killer or dealing with anything, they don't want that. Well, I didn't sign up for that. It's a buffet. I got to pick and choose or what I want or what I want to throw out. So you said black music. You said again, they love black music. They don't like the creators of black music. That fall under the same umbrella. Love black culture,
absolutely,
on the whole, you know what I'm saying? They love the hood, the image. You know, you have a lot of white people looking for that thrill. They want to come to the hood and buy some weed. Oh, yes, I just went in the hood and I just bought some weed and I saw yada, yada, yada. And I got some black pussy, you know?
And, you know, and the funny part, man, it's so crazy because I was doing Lyft. I got a lot of stories from Lyft, but I was doing Lyft, and it was a guy from Germany, and I started giving him knowledge on how my uncle was a Crip, and how he was like one of the biggest drug dealers in my city, and how he, you know, was like really, you know, a vicious type of, you know, individual. I'm not say vicious because, you know, but you know, and my uncle, he's actually Kenyan. Like his dad was from Kenya. Well, he was from Panama, but they was from Kenya. But you know, but my grandmother's Caucasian, which happens. She's actually German. So when I started talking to him, I think I made mention of that. But he thought, you know, I told him about, you know, gang activity and stuff like that, and he basically was like, we are infatuated or intrigued by culture here in America overseas.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And
Mm-hmm.
then I mentioned something about gang culture, and he said, "Cool." He said, "Cool." The white boy said, "Cool,"
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
and I said to myself, in my mind, I'm like, okay, this German boy doesn't understand that, you know, that is that those are the that anybody that will, you know, shoot somebody because of a certain color or side or whatever, to me, that is immature.
Mm-hmm.
That is immature. You know what I'm saying? I don't respect it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't I don't disrespect them, but I don't respect killing my brother over a set or whatever. I don't respect, I don't get involved in that, you know, it's one thing to defend yourself, but it's another thing to claim a set, and just because I'm on your side of town, you know, because it's really territorial mentality. But guess what? We got that from America, which is why you see red and blue.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
You
Yep.
see,
Yep. Yep.
you see one side wearing red, other side wearing blue. That's American all
All we
day.
need is the white now, which we got it already. The leaders.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The mafia,
Mm-hmm.
the real
Mm-hmm.
mafia, the government.
Yeah, yeah. That's like I said again. That's the media. That's the higher powers again
Mhm.
showing us a negative impact. You know, like I said again, the use of the N word has been heavily swayed with America. Heavily.
Me, my
Go
bad.
ahead.
Go ahead. Oh yeah, me and my brother, man. Me and my brother, we about to start. Me and him, we are about to start a set. Like it's not gonna be no gang or nothing like that, but we're gonna start a set to protect our family because some things be happening to the women in our family, and we don't have the manpower to eliminate the problem. Whether it's an individual like a some whether it's an individual that, you know, that does something to our family or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
we want to be able to protect the women and the children in our family. Um, and a lot of times we can't because we don't have the structure and the organization and the power. But we want to create our own set and our own visualization of that set and stuff like that. And it's only to protect our family. It's not on no gang stuff
Mm-hmm.
and trying to eliminate the next door neighbor, you know what I'm saying,
No.
because he stepped on my shoes. But it's about order, and it's about organization to be able to
Mm-hmm.
protect the women and children in our
Of
family.
course. Malcolm, and Louis Farrakhan, they said the same thing. The black women are the most disrespected woman on planet Earth. Period. The black woman, the most disrespected, unprotected, disrespected person. Period. And we do have to, because I feel like again, I saw like maybe like 3, 4 videos last year of black girls in these Asian stores getting dragged out, getting beated, they getting beat on, being battered and everything, and nothing happened, you know, because we give these people these power, like, yo, we come, like, listen to me. Anybody who sits here and call when our queens again, we have to take accountability. We got to take responsibility and accountability for the simple fact that how we view our people and how we treat our people is how people going to treat us as well. You know what I'm saying? These people only doing so because they seeing us doing it as well. And the first person who sits and call out black woman, or you black bitch or something like that, supposed to be made an example of. Period. Made
Absolutely.
example of. Period. It can't clean off the black. Period. You know. So yeah, we have to start being responsible because that's my. I could, like I said again, I see people that go, "I my mother died." I couldn't be my mother though. Suppose one day my mother passed 07, of course. Well, the past she passed 07. I said, well, that it could have been my mother. That could have been my grandmother. You know, that's gonna be someone else's grandmother or mother. Just because I ain't my parents means I can't defend them. Nah, you
Yeah.
gotta start somewhere. You gotta start somewhere. You know, certain things are catchy, are trendy. You know what I'm saying? Let's start protecting the black woman.
I had to talk to a brother, man. His girl was keeping his keys from him, his car keys, and he was about to knock her. Well, let me not say he's gonna knock her out, but I'm thinking to myself, this man, he said he ain't trying to go to jail, he ain't doing this. I had to kind of get in between them and like, bro, look, bro, you don't have the power to do anything right now, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Your best bet is to just walk away. Basically,
Mm-hmm.
I basically told her to give him the keys. He got her phone. You know what she told me? You know what this black woman told me, bro?
Mm-hmm.
She told me, she asked me, could I get her phone from him? I said, bro, this dude was like, he was bigger than you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Either
Wow.
look, he was taller. He was like 6'2", had to be like 230, 240. I mean, you probably bigger than him in size, but
Mm-hmm.
I told her, I said, I can't get nothing from this man.
Nah, not even. I would not. I would have not.
I
Nah,
said,
you got his. You have his keys. He took your phone. Like, nah.
yeah, and I'm like, what am I like? I can't. I say I can't get like, I can't get nothing from this man. Look how big, like this man big as hell. I can't get nothing from him.
We're gonna be scrapping, and one of us gonna end up hurt. You know what I'm saying? Maybe in the hospital, maybe dead.
So check this out. Check this out right here. To get something from him, she asked me to do it. Now, if I was subject to a woman in that way, I would have tried to get it, and then I would have caused a confrontation between me and
Off the
another.
rip. Mm-hmm.
This is what we have to teach our women to not cause confrontation with 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 the black man, because you cannot defend yourself by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I can defend myself. And guess what? In some cases, if a person is bigger than me and stronger and more has more technique at fighting, I can't even defend myself against that. So
Mm-hmm.
imagine you can defend yourself against somebody like that.
Mm-hmm. Now, sometimes a woman like when that red comes in, that red means that anger. You know what I'm saying? Everything, all logic just go out the window. So, and sometimes it's man too, but I feel like men have more. Like I know we had this conversation before, but if I sit and say like, "Yo, I want to kill you," you know, I might have second and third doubt about it. Whereas a woman, she make up her
Yeah.
mind. That's concrete. That's concrete. Like, yeah, you're done.
And, and I ain't gonna lie, man, I called the police on myself because I wanted to kill a female one time.
Mm,
I called the police on myself because that's how severe it was. And I said, dang, I let somebody get into my head to the point where I felt like really hurting them on that level. And I look back on, I said, wow, that was like one of the weakest moments in my life. But I said to myself, don't ever let anybody get into my head like that. The best thing to do is possibly leave that person alone if I have to, but don't ever get to a point where I feel like I wanna take another person's life
hell yeah.
because because of the things they're doing or what they're saying.
Mm,
It's just that simple. But but yeah, man, it's deep out here, man.
mm-hmm.
It's deep out here, but uh but yeah, like in that situation, in that regard, she was looking she was looking to me to protect her phone.
Mm-hmm. Well, were they arguing because he held her phone? He had her phone, and she
No, he
wanted her.
had she had his keys, and he was like, "Give me my keys."
And
Like
so
he took
after that, and afterwards, he grabbed her phone.
he grabbed her, yeah, he grabbed her phone, And
Afterwards, or
he got a phone, but guess what? She wasn't scared at all. She didn't fear him at all.
nah. Because I feel
And
like again, when
and I'm like, I feared him more than she.
nah, she
I'm
already
like,
knew what he was about, though. She knew what about. Maybe they might have went through in a similar situation. Probably
man,
did a.
that man said he just got out of jail.
Mm-hmm.
He looked, bro. That man looked like he didn't shot people before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nah, I doubt it. I'm just saying again, she
No,
know
no, I'm
him like.
saying no. I'm not saying I'm not doubting what you're saying. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just saying like this guy looked like he was about to.
Mm-hmm. Take a hair clean off the block.
I could see it in his.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it in his eyes, bro.
Nah, she saw you as comfort zone, and maybe like again, she might have been upset. She might have been upset, and she probably
And
was
that's
poking at the
crazy.
honestness.
That's crazy because now I'm strong now. Don't get it wrong. Like I'm strong, but what I look like trying to keep somebody from beating you up because you got their possession.
Oh, speaking about that, I wanna piggyback of that too. And this is a wrong situation. This is a completely wrong situation. This happened last week at my job. Um, I don't think nobody at my job. Oh yeah, it happened last week at my job. Anybody subscribed to me at my job? No, there's nobody. And the situation was um
Just don't use no names.
yeah. With my upper
And
supervisor. Nobody managed me. You know what I'm saying? Period. Nobody managed me. So I say my upper supervisor. The supervises the entire operation that I'm at, right? Well,
uh-huh.
I came down the stairs. I didn't know what's going on. I know one guy was sitting down chilling. He wanted some his property back, and they said they didn't find his property, whatever else the case may be. The guy didn't want to leave. I saw him, and whatever else the case may be, a black man. And my upper supervisor is a white lady, right? And when I was getting ready to leave, walk out the door and leave, they was like, Leo, can you look here for a second? And I looked down, came there. I was like, oh, what's up? What's going on? And it's like, Leo, we need you to sit here regardless, because I'm saying, I'm a little husky, you know what I'm saying? And the guy was husky too. He was husky as well. You know what I'm saying? I was probably had him like maybe he's like maybe 5'10", 5'9". You know what I'm saying? He's husky. Like he just came home too, but he was a Muslim brother, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And since I came there, because my other supervisor who was there, he was like a skinny guy. But then when I came down there, stuff went all the way left, and they was like, "Oh yeah, this person hit me." And I was like, "What? What?" I didn't want to get into that. I was just trying to back away, like, "Oh, this person hit me." And then she went ahead and she was like, "Yeah. Oh, what type of?" She's like, "What type of B word?" Again, he's a Muslim brother, so that's highly offensive. Highly offensive. Yeah, this B word hit me. And I'm looking at her like, what? She just called us again, this Muslim brother. She called him the B word. You know what I'm saying? So he automatically charged at her. Automatically. Like he's maybe like 5'2", and his brother like 5'11". He's maybe like 240, 250, and he's solid. Like he's solid. He works out and he charges at her. And when he charges, I was like, man, why I have to be in the middle of this? Like, why now I got to be the mediator or I'm going to lose my job? You know what I'm saying? So he charges and I just like grab him. I'm like, yo, brother, chill. Chill. You know my strength already. You know my
But
strength already.
you grabbed them up.
I didn't grab them up. I just hold them like I hold them like they're like, yo, brother, please chill. I say, please, man, I don't want you to get arrested. I said, first of all, you ate here. You know they got your information, so you put your hands on
Yeah.
her,
And
they're
see
gonna
and see
arrest you.
and see they probably would have told me to do the same thing because like I'm probably not as big as him, but
Mm-hmm.
I can sustain somebody
Mm-hmm.
to a certain extent. If they're not trying to hurt me, I could sustain them. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, bro, it's not worth it. It's not worth it, bro.
That's exactly what I was
It's not
telling them.
worth
I was like, yo, man.
it.
I said,
This was a black woman who did that.
no, it's a white lady.
A white lady said that to him?
Yeah, I'm like, yo, you this that's like this ain't where you from. I see you probably used to talking to white people. I said black people. I said that's a Muslim brother the top dad. You do what I'm saying? It's just a Muslim brother. The brother strong, like he just being homie, working out and everything. And he holding back. I was like, man, this boy, if he get like serious for real, like it's gonna be a hassle. Like me and him probably gonna end up throwing
You know
down.
what? You know what? You protected him. You didn't protect her.
Yeah.
Because
And I'm telling him the same thing. I'm like, yo,
they would have threw him in jail. They would have put him in jail that night and sentenced him tomorrow.
yeah, I said that, and I was walking with my other coworker. I was like, yeah, because when the boogers, I feel he's precious. She get rally like when I grabbed him, and she felt like I had him. Because again, she probably didn't know, but she felt like I had him. Then she started to get even rally. Yeah, you a whole bee. I'm like, yo, you're poking at the hornet's nest. I'm
You know
like,
what?
man.
I would have let him go after that.
Yeah, I did. I felt I said, listen to me. I know how mad you are. I said, I know how mad you are and everything. I said, listen to me. You didn't. I said, if I just so happened to walk with the door and they didn't say, huh?
Go ahead. I
I
want
was
to
like, yeah, if I didn't walk with the door, you could have did everything you want to do. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. Like, I didn't know the situation. You
but
could have,
guess, but
and
guess
he like, go ahead. I think he hit her. I didn't saw nothing. I was her word. I didn't saw no blotch or nothing on her face or nothing because she's a white lady. And I ain't saw nothing on her face. I was like, man.
and the thing about it is, if I was working there and
Mhm.
I came in there too, what I would have started doing is, this is me though, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying anybody should do this, but I would have been like, what you need to do is you need to shut the F up, and you need to go sit your crazy A down, and don't sit up here and try to provoke this man, because I'm holding him for you. Now, if you don't want me to let him go, you need to shut up.
Yeah, no, the cops was already called because again, when I came down, she's on the phone talking to the cops like, oh, he hit her or whatever else the case might be. So I was just like, yo, brother, man. I said, look, like I don't even want to sit here and try to incriminate him. And I'm sorry that came over me being judgmental, but like I was like, yeah, look, he just came home. Like he just came home. You know what I'm saying? Like the bills and everything. He just came home. I said, bro, this just ain't worth it. I was like, yo, this ain't worth it. And I said loud to her, you know what I'm saying? I went to him like one-on-one because he still was pushing. She's running her mouth, like being mad disrespectful. I'm looking at her like, yo, come on now.
Was that his girl or something? No.
Nah. He lost his card, his credit card, and he needed his credit card to because he had his car parked in our parking, and then well the company's parking, so he needed the card to pay to get his car out. You know, like the valet, yeah. So yeah, he was kind of like fuming a little bit, like he didn't have no access to get to his valet because he lost his credit card that he was using or his debit card or some shit like that. He lost something. So therefore, he was there because he couldn't get his vehicle out of the valet because he had no cash in him. He just had his card. So yeah, so that was there. He was kind of mad, like I can't get my card. So he's there, like, oh, y'all gotta go there and look or whatever. One thing, like I said again, I was upstairs getting ready. I came downstairs and everything happened. It was about to happen again. I was like, man, why I had to get involved in this? You know, it's like, oh, Leo, look here. That's like, I sit here a little bit. Yeah.
And see, what happens is women in general, man.
But no. I was 1 second. What I was saying is I went through the same situation. So logically, women just don't be thinking like when they get upset or whatever else the case might be, all logic go out the window. Not every woman, some woman.
Some women.
Hmm.
And the thing about that is, you know, women will use your protection when they need you, but when they don't need you, they'll say, oh, I don't need him for nothing. I don't need him. But when they need you to do something for them, they submit.
Like I said again, like listen, the situation was she probably was reckless with the dude. The dude probably retaliated, and she understand that I can't go out shooting off a mouth. I can't go shoot off the mouth with her. So again, she waited for me to come down. Said, okay, cool. He a little bigger, you know what I'm saying? He a little bigger than him. He could maybe put the other guy in the subjugation just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Then she went, oh, like when I came down, it just went from them just talking quietly, her coming off the phone with the cops to just being rallied now, like call the dude the B word, and he lunged at her and kind of like, come on, brother, it ain't worth it. And then she continued antagonizing, throwing some more B words in there, and I'm there like, come on. I felt the dude get more intense because he started using more force. He's still using more force. I'm talking like, yo, come on. They got your information. They're going to get arrested. It ain't worth it, brother. Please believe me. It ain't worth it. And I talked him out and walk into the door. And as he walking to the door, she go ahead running the mouth again. I'm like, yo, come on. Like, come on. Because again, before I came down, there was none of that. Maybe she did it before and she learned her lesson and she's like, okay, cool. I can't shoot on my mouth for that. But logic go out the window. When emotions kick in, logic go out the window and it's like, I don't give a fuck. Again, she's like 5'2", maybe 110 pounds. And dude, like he was like a nice 230, 240, you know what I'm saying? Like 5'10, 5'9, 5'11 possibly. You know what I'm saying? Built. You did? I don't think he like smacked her really, really bad if he did smack her. I don't know if he smacked her. I didn't saw nothing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saw no marking or nothing on her face. I'm like, yeah. Like he could have ripped her in two.
Yeah, and see the problem is, man, you got some women that are bigger than me that could never stand a chance in a fight with me because I'm a man. And they might be 245 foot 10, but they can't do nothing to me because I'm a man. I'm naturally stronger than them.
Mm-hmm.
So have some respect,
Mm-hmm.
at least for my strength. I respect you as a woman when I need to have sex.
Yes.
Respect me for my protection.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, come on now, like respect me. Have some respect. I respect you. I don't try to take nothing from you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't try to take what's in between your legs. I respect you enough to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Now sometimes I get a little aggressive until you say yes. No, I'm just
Yo, you.
On that last one, that's a joke. That's a joke.
Yeah, you would have put us in hot water for real, you know?
No, that's a joke. Please.
Yeah.
Do not take me serious. That is I'm telling you, I don't get aggressive with no woman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you, when a woman tells me no, I'll try some more, but once I see that no is for real, I leave it alone. I back off.
Mm-hmm. No means no.
No means no, man. You know, I make them feel real comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I make them feel comfortable, man. I don't make them feel like they have to do anything with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nah. I remember like some years ago, Joan was like, "Yo, you mad aggressive, yo." I said, "I have to be mad aggressive, you know. Closed mouth don't get fed." No, she's like, "You more aggressive than that." I said, "What?" You know, but yeah, you ready, yawn? So let's bring this home. Let's bring this home now.
Let's bring this home.
Let's bring this home, you know what I'm saying? Let's bring this home, you know? Get a good little live, you know what I'm saying? We should definitely tackle it a little early. I definitely want to chop this video a lot so I can exit out some other stuff as well, you know what I'm saying? So I can, you know, whatever the case may be, but go ahead and bring this home, big brother.
All right, this is Holy Water and Green Tea. That's your brother Leo Conscious.
Mm-hmm.
We out.
We out this mother. Peace, love, power, prosperity. You haven't subscribed to my channel, do subscribe to my channel. We got a lot of content. We got a lot more, you know what I'm saying, conversation, a lot more dialogue. Just a good brother with like I said again, it's just experience, nothing but positive energy, you know? Brother Leo, Brother Conscious, Brother Holy Water, with a side of green tea. We here, we out. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.